Hello and welcome to another update video about the DXY. DXY quite strong, yeah. So the US dollar quite strong in the last few days and a couple of weeks. This is the bigger picture chart. So here, this is the chart of the 2008 lows. Just want to remind you where we stand on this chart. My assumption is that we have a 1-2 setup initially into the 2011 lows. All of this was a long wave 3. We topped last year in October. Then a wave 4 to the downside is unfolding right now, and a wave 5 to the upside still to come. Now, the fact that we are in a wave 4 itself already explains why it's quite boring at the moment on this chart, because a wave 4 is typically a very boring wave structure. Also, we expect, obviously, as you might remember, that the DXY is in an ABC structure, highlighted here in yellow. A wave, B wave, C wave to the downside. This could technically complete the wave 4 already, yeah, but time-wise, it seems likely that this will stretch out into a much stronger ABC correction. We'll see. It depends on, what we're doing after the next ABC structure down. If we get an impulsive rally, okay, it might be the 5th wave. If it's not, it could be a B wave. And honestly, a B wave in a wave 4, boring. It means long range movement, sideways action. So it could mean that we are going to be stuck in this sideways range for quite a while. I just wanted to remind you of the larger time frame chart. A lot of people asked me. So that's my assumption. First of all, now let's zoom into the smaller time frame wave count. And here you can see one of these scenarios that we discussed in the last video. We discussed that, well, I showed you two anyway. In this one, we said ABC structure down, that we're already in the C wave, but that the C wave is unfolding as an ending diagonal. So the subwaves are 3-wave structures. Doesn't seem to respect that anymore. Well, at the moment it still does, but this wave 2 basically is now at the point where if it goes any higher, it would be the B wave, yeah, that we're dealing with pretty nasty large B wave. So we're going to take a look at that as well. But at the moment for me, it's like, okay, this one, it really needs to turn to the downside right now, or it's going to break above resistance. Resistance is here, $104.54. So far, nothing really happened, but we have come up that much. And the problem is, this move up is not corrective. So the problem I have with this structure is, which is why I find it less likely these days, this wave 2 should be a bit more corrective. I would like to see a 3-wave move. It's not there. Okay, it's not there. So while this wave count that we're already in the C wave is not invalidated, I take it off now for the simple reason that price hasn't really given us any clear corrective structure here. It looks actually pretty strong. So I'll take that off now. If this was the case, the wave 2 should be a nice 3-wave move, and it's not. So yeah, I can't rule it out, this yellow wave count, or this direct path down, but I think it is getting more and more likely that we're actually dealing with a higher B wave, which is the second scenario I showed you in previous videos. And this makes more sense given the subwave structure that I'm going to show you. So here in this scenario, this was an A wave, this top in March, the B wave down, and the C wave to the upside now, wave C of B. Because this looks a bit impulsive, right? Or at least like a but at least not clearly corrective. So I'm leaning towards this one. What would be the typical resistance area for the B wave? Let's add that to the chart. So B wave resistance, and I'll take the other one off the chart now, yeah. B wave resistance. Let's see if we actually get there. So standard B wave retracement here. But you know what? I'm gonna add the 38.2 Fib level for your info as well. That would be the next key resistance level at $105.38. The reason I'm doing that is because of the length A and C. They are normally in a relationship, in a Fibonacci relationship. If I take the length of the A wave and I go to the low of the B wave, you can see that actually the target for the C wave, the very first one, is at $104.61. We've nearly reached it already. I'm going to mark that on the chart. Yeah. But technically, it could still stretch out much higher, all the way up to, if it needs to, $111. I don't think it will. I think it will finish earlier. I would say should finish between, $104.57, basically, the level that I just put onto the chart, and the 61.8 retracement at $109, somewhere here. But let's add that to the chart. Let's add a subwave count to the chart to see where we actually are in this C wave. That's going to be interesting. And then what we need to understand is, if we go into the detailed structure, this is the last significant swing low here. Well, let's see. Yeah, probably this one, $103. If we break below this level and the move down is a 5-wave move, like an impulse, then I would assume that this B wave is finished. If it's just a corrective move down, I think we still have some room to go. But if it breaks below that support level at 103 and we see 5 waves down, I would assume that the C wave to the downside has started. And we will make the next attempt to break down. What would be a likely subwave structure here for this chart? So let's add something. Let's add the micro count. So my idea would be that the C wave could be some kind of a diagonal. There are other interpretations surely possible, but I want to give you my idea. I would say this could be a wave 1, wave 2 to the downside. Yeah, we could basically now be in a third wave still. We're going to chart out the microstructure in a minute. Then a fourth and a fifth. This could take us further into resistance. Let me highlight that in white as well. And, if we then talk about the microstructure, if it's a diagonal, because it's quite choppy still, then we could be dealing here with an ABC structure in wave 1. That might have obviously completed. Wave 2 is anyway an ABC. Looking at the third wave then. So looking at the third wave, it seems to me, let me just check that. Probably I'd say that this move up was the A wave, the B wave, and we're now in a C wave of that third wave. Yeah. Be aware that in these diagonal structures, the subwaves, they are always corrective. Let me just double check that. So if that, or actually the A wave might actually sit here and then the B wave down here. That gives us a nice C wave. So that might stretch out a little higher, where we could say if we even go more micro, 1, 2, potentially third wave in, fourth wave, fifth wave, where the C wave again is a diagonal. Now that's just an idea, right? How this could unfold. It gives you some orientation. That means that probably this third wave isn't even finished. And what would be a target for the C wave of wave 3 that allows us to calculate a target for the third wave? Again, these are just some levels to watch. It's not super reliable. But the 1-to-1 ratio certainly here at around $104.88. Again, you can see that the smaller degree structures, targets are a little bit different from the bigger picture. But again, I gave you already $104.57 to watch. Now $104.88 is the next one to watch. They're just levels of interest, right? We don't have a crystal ball. That is where the third wave could terminate, and then a fourth wave down and a fifth wave to the upside. So potentially here somewhere around this region. But yeah, this is just one idea how this could be charted out. I expect it to change because if we're dealing with a diagonal, these often change, okay? But either way, you have the larger degree resistances. I have no evidence yet that this move to the upside is over, so I expect it to go a little bit longer. Already highlighted to you that below this B wave low, which is the $103 level, if we break below that level, yeah, that would be a first indication that the C wave down might have started. That's my update about the DXY. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.